I'm Barbara from AllBrands.com, and I am so excited to be here with you today. We are talking about a season. 'Tis the season for savings with the Grace Company. If you're not familiar with Longarm quilting machines, this is the brand to consider, and we're going to show you all about them today and announce our amazing deals that we have going on. So our guests are going to be Allegra and Jana from the Grace Company. And also, please stay tuned to the end and comment hashtag AllBrands to be eligible to win a $50 AllBrands.com e-gift card at the end of this broadcast. Good luck. All right, so let's go ahead and check the comments. Erin, hi, how are you doing? Christy, Trisha, thank you for hashtagging AllBrands. Oh my goodness, it's so great to see everyone. So many folks chiming in. Shirley's watching from Lockport, Illinois. And we have Lori from Wyoming. Welcome, everyone. So sit back, relax, and be prepared to see all these amazing products from the Grace Company. They have fantastic quilting frames, long arm machines, accessories, and more. And we have very great deals to show you today that go through the end of December. So without further ado, I will bring in Allegra and Jana. Fabulous. Fabulous. How are you?
Good. How are you, Barbara?
Awesome. I'm so excited it's December. The best deals are happening everywhere right now, including
It's so true. Yeah, definitely the Grace Company. The deals are happening.
Yes. So we have a lot to show today. So all of these products, if you're interested, there's a link in the description of this video, or they can be found on our website, www.allbrands.com. And yeah, so let's get started. Are we going to show some frames today?
Yeah, we talked about, we're going to start with our favorite, we call it an accessory, not just a frame.
Yes.
Is the Cutie tabletop frame.
Yes, we actually have all of our frames and all of our machines in the studio today for you.
It's kind of crowded in here.
It's a little crowded.
We had to push back the trees.
Gotta make them 2D,
Christmas parade.
Exactly, yeah.
I love it. Well, I love the Cutie frame. I actually did a video on it on YouTube.
Cool.
That was so fun. And I love using it in my studio because you can put any domestic machine on it. So with your current machine that you have, you can have a long arm. I mean, it's
true.
Dependent on the size of the arm, of course, of your machine, but you can get started very easily, which is cool.
Well, and that's the thing we talk about too with the Cutie is there are just a few limitations. Allie and I were just talking about these earlier today because we have people asking all the time, can I put it on there? What's the limitations? And the first one is that your feed dogs can drop, because everything else doesn't matter if the feed dogs cannot drop, right?
Yes, I did talk to a customer a little bit ago. She has a cover for her feed dogs because her feed dogs don't drop. So if you have an older machine, I know a lot of those don't have feed dogs that disengage. Find a cover that will cover your feed dogs, and then you can get the Cutie.
Yeah, because you don't want your machine to be grabbing onto that fabric, because usually it kind of helps you as you push it through. But when you're doing free motion, it's moving all around, and so you don't want any of that fabric to be grabbed as you're going along in free motion quilting.
Yep.
So then the next thing about it is so why don't we go to the Cutie now and we can kind of show you some of these things. Now, all our frames and machines that we have on right now, we're going to be talking about the frames first, and then we'll go back and talk about the machine. So don't get distracted by the machine just yet on the Cutie, but we'll talk about that,
We'll come back to them, we promise.
Yeah. So on the Cutie, you have the ability to get we have the Unique on there right now, but the top plate that goes on there, you can do 11.5 inches with the machine clamps, or you have the ability to take off those machine clamps. We were talking, there's some embroidery machines that are just a little bit wider, right? They go to that 12 inches. So if you have 11.5 inch or smaller, you can do the clamps. If you have that embroidery machine that makes it just a little bit bigger, then you're going to use those 12-inch sizes.
Mm-hmm. All right, so let's look at the Cutie. Are we changing? Okay, there we go. All right, so you'll see we have this extended out to accommodate the machine we have on here. We'll come back to this one, don't worry. The Cutie frame is a tabletop frame. It doesn't have its own legs, as you can see. We could lift it up right here if we wanted to. It's a storable frame. It could even be a travel frame if you want it to. I've spoken to a lot of customers who take it on their RVs and their vacations, right? Yeah.
Exactly, yeah.
It's perfect. And it is a hoop style frame, so it works like an embroidery hoop. You can make anything from table runners, baby blankets, up to king size quilts, or even larger if you're feeling adventurous.
Yeah. Why don't we have, let's take off the handles here so you can see how easy it is.
Okay, yeah.
So to switch out your machine, because that's the other nice thing is when your machine is, I slid it the wrong direction. When your machine is needing to be used for piecing, you can easily pull this out, and then you have space to move your machine back and forth. So don't feel like, oh, I only can quilt or I can only piece. You have the ability to go back and forth easily and leave your Cutie there. Or you can store on its side, and then you can store it in the back of the closet or your couch or any of those things.
You're not going to hurt it when you store it under a bed, sitting on its side in a closet. You can even hang it up if you want to.
It's true. We have a lot of people who use bicycle hooks, right? They have that ability.
Yes. And not only is the hoop depth adjustable, it's also height adjustable as well. If you have a machine that has a larger base, maybe a shorter one, the Cutie will accommodate that.
Yeah, and let's show them. So once you put it together, can you show them how to do that adjustable so if they were raising it up higher?
Absolutely. We're going to go higher because it won't let me go lower with this machine. You're going to clip these out. It's kind of hard to see. Maybe I can move the machine a little bit.
Or maybe the front one they can see.
Maybe the front ones. Yeah, the front ones might be better. They're a little hard to see.
Yeah.
There's little clips right here, like this, and then you'll just lift it up. So let's say you have a really, really tall machine. Look how tall you can make it now.
Mm-hmm. It makes it a lot easier to move that machine. Because sometimes I like to raise it up higher when I'm moving my machine in and out.
Me too.
And then I don't have to worry about, oh, I'm just barely skimming the bottom of it. And helps it, get through just a little bit easier.
Cutie is kind of like a gateway to free motion quilting, and it can accommodate really nearly any machine.
Right? The gateway to quilting.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a gateway quilting.
A gateway quilting. Yeah, it'll get you hooked.
Oh my gosh. This is like, you guys hit a home run with this product because it's available. You don't have to have a Longarm machine. It's available for everyone who has a sewing machine that has a decent sized arm and drop feed on it. So,
it's oh, sorry, what were you going to say?
No, you go.
I was going to say, it's space friendly too, right? Because I know at my house, maybe if I took everything out of my garage or the master bedroom, I can make a quilting room where I could put a 10 or 8 foot, but every other room in my house, if I put an 8-foot frame in there, it's a small house, and so I can't really put everything.
Yeah.
So if you're in a smaller house, or you have smaller rooms, or you don't want to change everything out of your garage, the Cutie really is a spot where you can do quilting no matter what the size. It's only 4 foot by 2 foot for the base. You can see we've got it on a larger frame sideways, but front ways right here you can see it's still kind of hanging off of the edge, and that's okay. It doesn't have to go all the way to the back.
Just as long as these 2 track pieces fit on the table.
Right, so the footprint of the Cutie is a lot smaller than
the Cutie itself.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I love it. Ladies, this is an awesome product. So if you have considered stop to sending your quilts to a pay by check person to get the promotion and start doing it yourself, this is the perfect way to see, am I gonna like this? And I promise you guys, frame quilting is so much easier. Like pushing your machine is so much easier than pushing fabric. I can't tell you how many times I've sat at my machine and just like, my shoulders just go like this whenever I'm trying to free motion.
Yes.
Yeah.
Perfect.
And if you're doing a big quilt, right, like not only your shoulders get tight as you're going through, but then you have to do something with the extra fabric, right?
Yep, and
like,
then your fingers hurt.
Yeah, and you're like throwing over your shoulder, or you're like, if the table's not big enough, then you've got like other tables trying to hold it as you're going along, so you can do like, easy, smooth transitions.
Get your grandkids over here. Can you hold this back?
Yeah, hold it while I go through.
Yeah. So this is an awesome machine. This is just the first frame that we're going to talk about today. It's the first one in the list here. It's the Cutie tabletop fabric frame. Now, normally this is over $1,000, so $1,200 approximately. So today you save over $500.
Yeah, $510.
Yeah. Which,
So it's
for that price, you're going to be paying for your own quilt tops. It's going to pay for itself at that point.
Of course. I see here too, it's the first item. It says plus free motion starter kit. Can you explain
Yes.
that?
Yeah, absolutely. I have one right now in my hands, actually.
Oh,
I can
perfect.
come a little bit closer to you guys. There we
Oh, I
go.
love it.
So
It's
this
like
is
a
our
little
free motion
Christmas
starter
box.
kit.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's closed.
This is so affordable. Wow.
It is.
Well,
What a great
and
deal.
if you already have something, so this is the other thing, is the free motion starter kit is also 40% off.
Yes.
If you already own frames or machines or anything like that, then you can also just buy the free motion starter kit at 40% off.
Yeah, so it'll come with this little instruction booklet for you. Has a pre-quilting checklist, how to load your fabric onto your frame, and then how to get started with quilting.
That's
Kind of just
what
like
everyone needs to get started.
a full guide on how to free motion
Yeah,
quilt.
it's a great guide. And the person, our educator who put it together, you know, she's been doing quilting for a long time. So Isa has check boxes. So you're like, okay, did I do this? Do I know how to do this? Going back and forth exactly where you're needing to go. It shows all the different frames we have, how to load your fabric on those frames, just total step by step all the way through.
And then it will come with 6 practice tracing sheets. Kind of hard to see, but perfect.
There
Free
we go.
motion quilting is so similar to doodling. Instead of moving your pencil over paper, you're moving your machine over fabric. It's very close.
It's really
So that's what
easy,
these
yeah.
practice sheets help you do. They help you understand that movement. It's great. It'll come with 2 spools of practice thread.
Yeah, because we wanted to put everything in there so you didn't
we
have
go.
any excuse of, oh, I already used my stuff, or I don't have any fabric or thread or bobbins.
Yeah.
Run everything, so you have no excuse to practice.
Yes, and then no matter what machine you have, domestic, long arm, you will get 3 kinds of pre-wound bobbins so that no matter what machine you have, you can immediately get started.
And there's 3 of those, yep.
Yes, and then you will also get...
Let me switch you.
Yeah, switch me out. There we go. You'll also get this lovely little practice panel. It has the same little tracings on here that those practice sheets do. And then it also has backing and batting fabric. So right out of the box, you can make your own little practice quilt.
Oh
And,
my God.
You know, who doesn't need lots of practice, right?
I do, that's for sure.
This is a perfect
A chance to do it, yeah.
present. So
true.
Trisha says she just texted her husband. She wants this for Christmas.
Yeah.
Came out the building in the back. Well, thank goodness that it doesn't take up very much space at all, and it's so
It's
easy
true.
to put out and take out. So Trisha, you're gonna love it. You're gonna have an amazing Christmas with this. And the fact that it comes with everything that you need to get started is just so cool.
Yeah, and like I said before, I mean, it comes with the Cutie, but if you already have the Cutie or the other machines or anything else, you can just get the free motion starter kit. It's 40% off for this month. So that's another great Christmas present. If you've already got those things and you're thinking, oh, what do I need to do? It's already discounted on there.
Yeah, so here it is. It's normally about $175, but for the month of December in 2022, that's the year it is right now for us. It's 40% off, which makes it only $104.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Great.
So amazing right now, right?
yes.
Okay, so if you got room for the Cutie, this is our non-dedicated space, right? You can move it around. So our next frame is the Q-Zone hoop frame, and it is dedicated space.
Dedicated.
Yeah, so
I'm
you
kind
can
of gonna
see-
like squish
Yeah,
behind
so you're gonna go back in the back side?
for you guys. Yeah, that way I'm not blocking it.
Yeah.
Okay,
So
here we go.
It has its own legs. So right away you're gonna see it looks similar to the Cutie. It has that hoop style. So you can do any size quilt, just like the Cutie, but this is dedicated. So it's a little bit larger. So instead of the Cutie was 4 feet wide, this is 4.5.
Yes.
So you're gonna have a little bit more space to deal with side to side. And then it's the same thing front and back. You can adjust it out. Now this one, you'll need additional tools each time you bring it forward and back.
Yes.
Unlike the Cutie where you can just use your own hands. But with this one, you can, again, use your own domestic machine. If you're thinking, I'm ready, I want to go, I need a dedicated space, I want something just a little bit bigger than the Cutie,
Yes.
the Q-Zone hoop is the next step.
Yep. And that's three main differences between this frame and the Cutie frame. Width, 6 inches wider, has its own legs. And then one key thing as well is that this one is a single track system and the Cutie is a dual track system.
Now you can move towards the dual track system, which comes with the table inserts for you to do pantographs and everything like that. That's just an additional cost, but the initial thing, Barbara, if you could throw that number up again, we can see how less expensive this is, because normally it's $1699.95, it's only $11.99.
That's awesome. Oh my gosh.
So for December, you'll get this one for the price that you would normally get the Cutie at.
Exactly. So it's a little bit bigger and it's ready to go. And again, you can use your domestic machines up to a 19-inch throw. So it also has that height adjustment. Now, the only difference is on this, there are some domestic machines that have a very small section of them. They're not very high. So this one doesn't come down as far as the Cutie, so you might have to put something underneath it, like a piece of wood or plastic or something, just to raise it up high enough. But you want to make sure it goes to the rails. And with any quilting frame, you want to make sure when you have your machine on there that your fingers can just go underneath the rails just a finger's width.
Yes.
As you're moving it along.
This one, it's a little bit taller than we'd probably have it.
Yeah, if we had fabric on it to show it off. Yeah. But so that's this frame.
Oh my gosh, that's an awesome frame.
Right?
So just to remind everyone, that one is called the Q-Zone Hoop Frame, on sale in the month of December 2022 for $1,199. And I have a question. If they order that today, we can pretty much say that they're going to get that by Christmas, correct?
Oh, yes. Yes.
Oh,
we had an influx of orders from all our fantastic dealers like AllBrands coming through, and so but we're only about 5 days processing time. So 5 days, and then time from shipping from Utah to wherever you are, that's just another 4 to 5 days at the most. So definitely before Christmas.
I have to ask you, because Utah is gorgeous, and I know that the Grace Company is a family-owned and operated business in Utah. How's the weather over there for you guys?
Well, we did get a pretty good, a solid snowstorm. Not yesterday, but the day before, and now there's no more snow. So
I've been in the summer, and it's absolutely gorgeous there.
It is so fun, yeah.
Yes.
And that's what we love about AllBrands too, is that you guys are family owned and operated as well. That's why I think we make such a good partnership together, because we have those same basic family values.
Yay, thank you. Okay, well, we have 2 more frames to go. The next one is the Q-Zone Queen frame.
The Q-Zone Queen frame, yeah. So this is our first rolling rail frame. So this is the frame over here to my left, and it is 2 rail system instead of a hoop. So just like the Cutie and the hoop frame, they were similar because they were a hoop style. This one has 2 rails, one for the front and one for the back. And the front rail, you're going to float your fabric over. So you're going to attach your backing to the take-up rail and to the belly rail. And then you're going to pin or attach your top fabric and your batting, and then you're going to float it over the front. And it comes with clips specific for this frame. So you're going to have those on. Now, again, you can use your domestic machine with this, but because of the fabric rolling up in the back, you're going to have limitations. So you want to make sure that when you're doing that, you're not going to do such a large quilt that, it's what your machine can take care of. If you're doing, so you might want a larger throat space on that one.
Yeah, so this one actually, I'll show the picture of it fully set up, because that's a shorter version you have there. So you
this one's the 4 foot, yeah.
Yeah, so how large does it get up to in size?
So it's an 8-foot frame. It doesn't have any other extensions. So when people say, oh, I got it at 8 foot, I'd like to go bigger, it's only an 8-foot frame, but you can set it up like we did, just so it'll fit in our studio.
Yes.
At the crib size, right? So
Yeah.
we've got it just a little bit smaller, easier to be taken care of, so that you're not having
Yeah.
so
Okay.
much problem. But again, it's a rolling rail system. So as you're going along, that fabric is going to come in the back rail and roll up as you're going and get bigger. So you want to make sure, if you are using a domestic with this frame, you're going to have enough space in your throat and harp section for whatever fabric. So unlike the Cutie and the Q-Zone that don't lose additional throat space, the Q-Zone Queen does lose that additional throat space.
Yeah, because those, we call those hoop frames, because you can literally, it's kind of like an embroidery hoop where you can just like hoop one section at a time and do that square. So, but this is more like a traditional style.
It is a tradition, more traditional, but only 2 rails as opposed to 3, like the Continuum that we're going to look at next.
Yes.
I love the Continuum. So just to reiterate, just for $200 more, you get the larger space and the rolling system. The Q-Zone Queen frame is only $13.99, saves $500. So let's go to the Continuum 2 frame. So that's the top of the line quilting frame,
Big
right?
Papa.
Yes. Yeah, so that's this one right here. This one is also set up in its crib configuration, so it's a little smaller than you would normally see it as. It's available in 8, 10, and 12 foot sizes.
Yeah, now you can put that 2-foot extension on the 8 foot, so it becomes 10, or you can put it on the 10 foot to make it 12.
Yes.
But we would not recommend putting 2 2-foot extensions on the 8 to make it 12, because the extensions can, like if you're trying to do too many extensions, then it just get,
Yeah, so this frame is a 3-rail system compared to the Queen, that's a 2-rail system. You get
I'm
the
gonna
take-up
lift
rail,
this up
the
so you
front
can
rail,
see here.
and then you have your backing rail.
Yeah. Now we've looped this in just with our quilt clips. These quilt clips do not come with the frame at all. They're just an extra piece if you're wanting to do floating, which we often do, but it's set up so that you put all the rolling on the rails itself.
Yep. And the nice thing about this frame too is that it has additional accessories that you can add to it.
Yeah, so the extension, the idler rail, and the batting rail. So the idler rail comes up above the take-up rail, and the batting rail goes below there. So you just have those extra pieces, right?
Yep.
So when people say, oh, does the batting rail come with the Q-Zone Queen? Nope, but it does with the Continuum.
But it does with this one. So if you want a frame that can really grow with you as you progress your quilting, I really do recommend this one.
Yeah, I agree. This is the frame to get. Let me just put the screen up here. So we have another little fun offer for you after when we start showing the machines. But this is the price of the Continuum 2. It's $24.99, and it goes up to how big?
12 feet.
12 feet. So you're not going to be limited with this. Jeanette says, I'm going to sell my dining room table and chairs if I run out of room.
I love that, Jeanette. That's so funny.
Yeah. So let's see. Here we go. Awesome. So that's the frames that are available.
That's the frame sale. Yes.
So take your pick. Now we have some amazing deals on actual long arm quilting machines. So you can use your own sewing machine to get started if you want, but really to do like a bigger surface area, you want to have a longer arm of machine. So Grace is awesome because they make it super simple. Their model numbers are actually the length of the arm of the machine. So when you see a model number, you'll know how big it is. So there's a few machines that we have to show. So yeah, take it away.
Yeah, let's start off. Should we start small, get big, big, get small?
Let's do small, get big.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm going to prove
we're gonna
this
start over
out.
here. We're going to kind of scoot this out in the middle.
So first we have our 16X series, and on this frame we have our 16XM and our 16X. So you can see the difference here right away are the screens. So on the manual, which I have right here, it does not come with a screen because it is not regulated. It's just a straight stitching machine, just like your domestic machine. It's set up, it doesn't have regulation. but it does have all those
So
amazing
Jana,
things.
can we explain to everyone what is stitch regulation?
Oh yeah,
for those of
yeah.
you who
So
don't
stitch
know?
regulation is where when you're going fast or slow on your domestic, it doesn't know what to do with that speed, right? So if you're going fast, it does long stitches. If you're going slow, it does little tiny stitches. What stitch regulation does is the machine talks to it and it says, hey, we're going fast now, we're going slow now, but continually sew at the same speed. So all your stitches are the same length. So the 16X manual does not have that option. It's just like your domestic, because some people like that option. They want, it's just a little bit less expensive. It also has the ability to, has the throat lights. So we've got new throat lights on the, underneath all the 16 series.
I love these throat lights.
I know, they're so much fun.
Yes. Growing up like really close to my grandma, a lot of the time I remember being like, do you need the light on? You can't work in the shadows. You can't work in the shadows. The shadow is too much for you.
Yeah.
And that's what these do. These new lights in these throat spaces, they kind of disperse your shadow.
Yeah.
That way, if you're ever working in the throat space, you're not having to try and see why it's like under that shadow. Can't see. It will disperse the light evenly, and then you're not going to have any shadows in the way.
Yeah, and we'll show you, we have, I think we have one of them plugged in that will be able to show that. But we also have on these machines specifically is a light in the bobbin case area. I don't know how many times I have been someplace and it's well lit, right? We've got the light bars on, we've got great lighting in the studio or whatever, and I need to change out a bobbin. But I can't see it because it's underneath the quilt.
And it's so dark under
and
there.
And it's so dark underneath the quilt, right? Who needs to see underneath there?
Take a nap under there.
Us to switch out the bobbin. So now they have a light to go in the bobbin case area. So as you're switching it out, you can easily see that.
Yes. I also like it because I can see how much lint is there. So I'm like, sometimes you can't really see and you're like, okay, it looks all right.
It looks okay. I don't have to clean it out right now.
I don't need to clean it out this time.
It's also helpful as you're oiling, right? Because you're going to oil, I think it's every other bobbin or something like that. It's in the instructions, so I have to check. But it's a great place that you can see exactly how you're oiling. You don't have to get a flashlight and try and hold it while you're oiling at the same time.
Wow.
But the 16X series, even though it doesn't have that regulation, it does have the other things that all the other machines, the lights. It also has extendable handles.
And I love these adjustable handles.
Right, they're adjustable whichever way you want to go, and they come in and out. So whichever way you're going, you can decide, oh, I like to drive this way, I want them in more, I want them straight up. However it is that's comfortable for you, you can set those exactly how you need them.
Yes.
That's wonderful. So
now it's a lower price. Yeah, I was going to say this one's a lower price because it doesn't have all that regulation on there.
So here it is. So what I love about it, Jana, this special that we have on AllBrands.com for the 16X machines, there's 3 versions. You can add a free Cutie or Q-Zone hoop frame for that.
Actually, you can add the Q-Zone Queen frame too.
Yes. So it's either of the Q-Zone frames.
Wow, that's amazing. Yeah. And if you wanted to upgrade to the Continuum 2 frame, which you would normally pay $220, the sale price is $24.99, right?
Yeah, yeah. Normally it's about $3,000.
Normally it's $3,000.
Yeah, at the bottom you can see on the, is it the first 2 or all 3?
It's all three, yeah.
Oh, you can upgrade for only $789 more.
Right, which is a steal, right?
Yes.
Oh my goodness. Yes, you're right. We also, on allbrands.com, we offer 0% financing on these.
What?
So
that's amazing.
Yes, 0% is awesome. And so this is $3,500. So you could get 24 months, 0% financing when you purchase it from allbrands.com.
Wow.
It's
Wow.
an awesome deal.
That is amazing.
What if they already own a frame? They can substitute a luminous light bar instead.
Yes. Any size. So it can be the 5-foot or the 10-foot. You just have to specify.
Yep.
Yeah. So what's the main difference between the 16X manual and the 16X is the stitch regulation, correct?
Is the stitch regulation. Now, if you want to go, so if someone gets the manual and they're like, you know what, I'm ready for stitch regulation, I'm ready to go to that next step, the 16X can be upgraded to that, the manual can be upgraded to the X. So don't feel like, oh, I got the manual and I'm ready and now I have to buy a whole new system. It's like you can get it upgraded to that 16X with the screen and all those fun bells and whistles of the stitch regulation, all those other things, which I'm going to have Allie talk about, the 16X and everything that comes with that.
Oh yes, I love these machines.
Awesome. Okay.
Guys, the 16X series is definitely my favorite. I think the 16X Elite is my #1 favorite machine. But we're going to talk about the 16X right now. It's right here. Has a stitch speed of up to 1,700 stitches per minute. It has the edge warning on there as well as the overspeed warning. And then it also has that bobbin light like all the 16 series do. And then with this one, the throat light and the needle light area are adjustable. So you can dim them. They can be 100% bright, I think 50% and then off on the 16X, which is amazing.
Yeah.
It also has a measuring tool in here as well. So you can use your machine to measure. You just move it along the fabric and it will calculate the distance that you've moved it. And I think that's a wonderful feature to have.
It's one of my favorite. The other thing I love about the 16X is that it has that edge warning. So we've put it on a couple of other machines, and even though it has the smaller screen, we were like, we can't not put it on the 16X because it's such a cool feature. So it'll beep, so you set it and you can set it for either a whole inch or a half inch away from where you don't want to bump. Because I know I get excited and I'm going on my design and then it's like, oh, I hit the back and my circles is not as good. Yeah. So, or I'm trying to stay within the lines of a specific quilt block. So with that edge warning, it will beep within half an inch or 1 inch, whichever you set up. And then you have that ability to quickly, and you can turn that on and off. It has flashing lights that tell you, and it also has a beeping sound.
Yes.
So if the beeping sound is too much, you can turn off the beeping sound or turn off the lights, whichever one has those adjustments. Yeah.
You know what it reminds me of, Jana? My car has, and whenever I have to parallel park, it beeps whenever I'm getting like really close to something, and then I know if I'm about to hit or not. But it's so nice to know like when you're getting in the zone of making a mistake.
Well, because we're quilting. We're not paying attention to the edges. No. We want to be free and quilt and do things.
We're free motion quilting.
Exactly.
I don't know about you guys, but I watch TV when I sew. I do all the things. So if the machine can help me, that's definitely the way to go. So that was the 16X Elite, correct?
That was the 16X.
The 16X,
so we're going to move these out of the way because the 16X
more.
Elite isn't with these two. It's on its own over here.
I learned something today. I didn't know the 16X had all of those amazing features.
Yeah. Even though it has the smaller screen, it still has those amazing features.
And the 16X Elite actually has a few more features than the 16X does. So this is our 16X Elite. This one is gray compared to blue like the other ones.
Which that tells you which version it is, right?
Yes.
So if it's gray, it's an elite. I mean, besides the fact that the big screen.
Yeah.
And then the blue, like you can see here on the 19X, it's blue, so that's just the X series.
Yes. So with the 16X Elite, not only does it have all those other features that we covered for the 16X, this one goes up to 2,100 stitches per minute. It has a bobbin estimator in here for you, so you can tell your machine approximately how many yards you put on your bobbin, and then it will let you know when you're running out. And then this one also has, with the 7-inch screen right here, it has built-in help guides, which I love.
I love those because I always put my manual in a safe place.
And then that safe place disappears.
It's very safe, even for me.
It's too safe.
Yeah. And so I love those new tutorials that they've put in because it's easy things like how do you troubleshoot, how do you do some the threading guides, just little pieces, but it's a great step-by-step tutorial as you go along.
Actually, what was great is we had a walk-in the other day, and she wanted to know how to use the bobbin winder on the 21X Elite. And I had no idea.
And so
I said, this is a great learning experience for both of us. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you, we can just go into this screen right here and it will tell you how to wind your bobbin. And we both learned something that day.
Well, and that's a great reminder that that's all the machines have a bobbin winder on them, all the Cutie machines, and it's a separate motor from the regular sewing machine motor. So technically, you could create bobbins on the fly of your sewing, right?
Yes, yep. You're like, oh no, I'm running out. Maybe you're doing automation.
Right.
You don't have to stop your automation. You can wind it while it's going.
And that's a good question about automation. I know a lot of people say, okay, you got a great big screen now. Can I run my automation through there? And you can see on these other frames or machines, we have some brackets on there. And that's where the automation really goes, is on this black bracket that sits above it.
So these big 7-inch screens are just the displays for your machine. They're no different than these smaller ones up here. All they are is bigger, they're adjustable for you, tilt-wise, and easier to see, and they have those built-in help guides, but they can't accommodate your automation. They're just the display for your machine.
Yeah. Very cool.
Yeah, I think the other thing about the 16X Elite that I love is that it, again, still has all those amazing things that we talked about previously. The lights in the throat, the bobbin light, the adjustable handles. And I'm not sure if everybody was paying attention when Allie was saying how many stitches per minute. Now what that means is you can go faster than that, but that's how fast the regulation can keep up with. So up to 2,000. And it's not often that people can quilt faster than that unless they're just messing around if you're silly with it or something like that. But yeah, so the amount of stitches per minute is really great for the regulation. But just like the manual is like your domestic, we do have one mode on all our Cutie machines that you can switch over to manual if you want to not have the stitch regulation. So some people like that as well.
Yeah. I mean, I get it. I'd switch to manual sometimes.
That is so cool. So just to put this back up on the screen, that's the Cutie 16X Elite. That's normally about $6,000. We have it for $49.99. So divided by 24 months, 0% financing, that would only be $209 per month. If you're outside of Louisiana or Texas, when you order from AllBrands.com, the website does not charge sales tax or shipping, and you get a free Cutie or Q-Zone or Q-Zone Queen frame with that savings and financing. And you can get it in time for Christmas if you order it soon.
Yes.
My goodness. Very cool. So you can get even bigger than this, right?
Yes. And on the Cutie and the Q-Zone hoop. So people are saying, because one thing when people were saying like, oh, does my domestic fit on the Cutie or the Q-Zone hoop? Just a reminder that you have to subtract 2 inches of throat space for the rails. So if you have a 10-inch throat or an 8-inch throat, then you just subtract those 2 inches. So with a 10-inch, you have 8 inches of quilt space. The 8-inch, you have 6 inches of quilt space, which is great. You can still do stuff, and it is way faster than doing it, pushing it through.
Yes.
But when you do that with the 16, you get 14 inches of quilt space, and you can even put the 19 on and get 17 inches of quilt space. So just think about the size of your quilt block when you're doing with a 19 on your Cutie or your Q-Zone hoop frame.
Yes.
It's pretty big.
Yeah, so this is our next series. These are our 19s. They have the 19-inch throat space, like Barbara said earlier. Our model names are their throat sizes. So this is the 19. Want to tell us a little bit about that one, Jana?
Yeah, so it has that smaller screen, the 2.5 inches, just like the 16X series does. So our 19 does as well. It has 2,000 stitches per minute. So again, a nice amount of stitches so that you have that ability. It also has the adjustable handles. As you can see, I can pull it out here and adjust either left or right, whichever way I want to do. The other thing we haven't really talked about on the other machines yet, but I think it shows it well on here, are these pad printings. So you can see on this one, it just has the needle up and down. This left one that's larger, it's just the start and stop. And on our other side handle is just the up and down for if you're adjusting like the stitch length or speed, or if you're going to something else. So you're going to your different menus. But the screen is touchscreen. It has that edge warning like the 16X, which I just love.
I love the edge warning.
It has the bobbin winder. Now the 19 does not have the bobbin light or the throat lights. That's just a special thing on the 16 series. So yeah, we gotta, I did think of one more thing with the 16. If we can just show really quick, Allie, if you open up the front. So yeah, just pull it.
Opened up the front on these before.
Yeah. So when you're oiling it, you just open it up and then you just put your drops of oil right in here.
And this is your fun little take-up bar right there. So.
Yeah. So that's different in the 16 series, different than the 19. The 19 is just in the back here. So you just have those, and then the 16s have them come on the front. Just a little bit different.
Going back to the 16s again, because I just love them. In my opinion, I think the 16s are like the most accommodating. They have lights everywhere you need them. The lights are adjustable. They're easy to maintain. You just open the front, and I don't know, I love them.
You're the favorite, yeah. I like the 19s though. They're my favorite because they can fit on any frame. Gives you just 3 more inches of throat space, and you can go from just doing a small quilt block to that 17, maybe 15, 17 inch quilt block, and you can get that done. So again, this one's blue, that nice navy blue, because it's the X series. But over here we have the 19X Elite on the Cutie, because we wanted to show that you can put it on the Cutie, but it's that nice gunmetal as well.
Yeah, so this is, that color. This one has that 7-inch display that we were talking about. This one goes up to 2,300 stitches per minute. Okay, perfect. So a little bit faster for you there. And then 7-inch display,
7-inch display, the same things as before. It's got that bobbin estimator. It's got the edge warning. It's got all those fun things going on. So it's not...
Yes, and this is a perfect angle for you to see that it perfectly accommodates a 19-inch throat space.
Now, we did have someone who called in and said, hey, I have a 19 on my Cutie, and it's not sturdy. The Cutie's not sturdy. But Allie, if you take your hand off, she's not holding it up on the front. See, now, if I push on it, right, if I come over here and force it to come up,
then it'll come up.
Yeah, but really,
if you just rest
steady.
it up there.
Yeah,
like if I just hold it up there, so all the weight's up front. It'll be fine.
It's totally sturdy. So the Cutie can accommodate that 16 or that 19. It's not going to just fall off the table. It's totally steady, but it does give you that extra throat space. And if you're using the Continuum, right, as well, you get that extra width as well.
Yes, yes.
That's awesome. Oh my goodness, ladies. So if I wanted to have the full throat space that's available on the Cutie frame
and the Q-Zone hoop
and the Q-Zone Queen.
And the Q-Zone Queen, yeah.
Yes, so the Cutie frame, Q-Zone hoop, and Q-Zone Queen can all accommodate up to a 19-inch throat space.
Oh my gosh. And for this one, if you like the Continuum too, so you don't want to have to feel limited and then want to upgrade in the future, it's only $789 more. But for all 3 of these machines, AllBrands is offering 36 months, 0% financing. So that's as low as, let's see. Hold on. I have to do the math.
I don't do math in public.
You do math in public all the time, Shanna.
About $180.
That's
per month.
amazing.
That's great.
Yeah. Yeah,
It's less
for
than
36 months.
It's less than a car payment.
Yeah, that's great.
You don't need to go anywhere. You're quilting.
Yeah, I mean, why go anywhere?
Especially when the weather is like it is right now.
I know. The other morning, that snowstorm, I could barely see in front of me. That's like, it was just
horizontal snow, yeah. So our next machine it's the 21X series, and it only has one. It's only the Elite, because we thought about doing an X and we're like, no, we don't want to do an X in the series. We just want to do the best, the most.
Best of the best.
The best of the best. So the awesome screen, the awesome throat space. So it's got the 7-inch screen with all the tutorials on it. It's got the adjustable handles. It's got the bobbin winder. You're able to do everything with the other machines than this one, but you just have so much more throat space.
Yes. And that throat space is needed sometimes.
And the other nice thing about the 21 is you can only use it on the Continuum frame. So you can't put it on the Cutie or the Q-Zone or the Q-Zone Queen. You have to put it on the Continuum. That's the only place that it works because of the throat space size. So it's so much bigger, it has to have that adjustable pieces.
Yes. So as we mentioned before, the Q-Zone Hoop, Q-Zone Queen, and the Cutie frame can accommodate up to a 19-inch throat space.
And they're free with the 16 or the 19s. But when you purchase the 21X Elite, you get a free Continuum frame, either 8-foot, 10-foot, or that 12-foot size.
That's amazing. And it looks like it's $1,000 off with the normal prices.
Yeah, so with what you're saving on the frame, it's $4,000 off, which is perfect to go buy more fabric and more thread and make more quilts.
Yes.
Oh my goodness. I love it. I love it. So let's talk about automation a little bit. There are some great sales on the QCT, Quilter's Creative Touch.
20% off.
Yes. So look at that. The QCT5 is $1,000 off, and you can get great financing bundles with these.
Yeah.
So what are the differences between these?
The one way I always describe the difference between beginnings and pro is the beginnings helps you with the basics, right? It has all the images, it has everything you need to get started. But the pro is the version that helps you do design work. So you can import and export in beginnings, you can create pantographs, you can do images, but with the pro you can do design stuff. So you can design the entire quilt at a time instead of trying to do just 2 lines. And you can do some other fun creation things. And then with the gold card, that gets you to the next level. It's a yearly subscription, so it's a great time if you already have it to buy it now. It doesn't expire, so if you have 2 versions and you're gonna hold on to it until the next one runs out, it doesn't expire. But you can only use it if you've got the pro. So if you have beginnings, you can't use the gold card yet.
Yeah. My favorite way to explain the difference between beginnings and pro is with beginnings, you have your library of over 200 patterns. You're picking a pattern, you can resize it, rotate it, all that fun stuff, and then you place it and you let it quilt. So it's just pick, place, quilt. With pro though, pro gives you the ability to create your own patterns, design your entire quilt layouts. So it's more of the do it on your own part.
And also, if anybody's thinking like, oh, well, I have the beginnings and then I have to save up all the way to the pro, we have, again, that upgrade option. So you don't have to worry about buying the whole new system. It's just the difference between the two, that upgrade. So if you already have beginnings, you're ready for the pro, you can do that upgrade, again, at that 20% off. So it's under $2,000.
Oh my goodness. So the QCT5, you can finance for 24 months, 0% financing. That's through Synchrony Bank. So for 24 months, that's going to be about $166 per month.
Whew.
And that's
not bad.
Yeah. Yeah. So the QCT5 is only is 36 months, 0% financing. So that is the exact same price per month, just for a longer period of time.
Just for a longer period, yeah.
So for either one, you can get them for $166 per month.
That's a steal.
Yeah, and really, if you're getting a frame and a machine, why not?
Right. Yeah, you've saved, like, especially that 21 Pro with that Continuum, you saved $4,000. If you've been saving for it and you knew how much it was going to be normally, okay, great. Then you can throw in that automation as that $4,000.
Yeah, I spoke to a customer yesterday who bought her entire setup, frame, machine, automation, and she said, if I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it right.
Yeah, and especially now because it's $1,000 off of the QCT5 and $1,500 off of the, of the QCT5, and then the $1,500 off of the QCT5 Pro. So why not combine that savings with the financing?
Exactly. And people might ask, like, well, I only have the Cutie and the 16X. I can't get the automation. You can. So except for the 16X manual, so that 16XM, every other machine that we have shown you and frame can accommodate automation. So don't feel like, oh no, I have the small stuff or I have to get the big ones. It can work on all the machines and frames we showed you except for that 16X manual.
Yes. So cool. Oh my gosh. So for those of you who already own a frame from Great, thank you for shopping with us. We have some awesome accessories for you that we're going to talk about today. We have an exclusive AllBrands special that's only for you guys watching this video, that's now through the end of December. There's a True Cut travel kit. Do you guys want to talk a little bit about that?
Yeah.
I would love to. I love the True Cut travel kit. I asked for this for Christmas.
Perfect Christmas present.
Okay, this is the True Cut travel kit. I also think it's kind of like classy, you know?
It is a very
cute
stylish
little
bag.
bag,
We worked
yeah.
very hard on picking everything for this, that it's all set. So you would want to own it, not just for what's on inside, but how it looks on the outside.
Yes, I love it.
Great,
I maybe love it
easily
too
opening.
much. Okay, so when you open it up, it's gonna look like this. We'll lift it up a little bit for the camera. Okay, and then you'll get this nice, cute, adorable, self-healing cutting mat. Look how thick that is. It's fantastic.
It's also double-sided.
And it's double-sided, yeah. Let me flip it around for you.
Perfectly
for
fits
cutting on the go.
inside here, yeah. You get a nice 28 millimeter straight cutter, because everybody needs a nice cutter, rotary cutter to take on the go. So you're gonna be able to do that. And then you also have a pair of scissors.
You always need scissors.
You always need an extra pair of scissors. Exclusive, only available in 2 options of our, so in our Quilt Perfect kit and then in the travel kit, you get the 3x8 ruler. So you can only purchase these by getting the kits. You can't purchase them separately.
These are so cute. I love them. All right, you'll also get marking tools here.
So there's a blue,
Yeah.
white, and a pencil.
There we go. Some marking tools. This is a nifty magnetic needle
I'm gonna let you-
slap wrist. You want to slap it?
I'll slap it on your wrist. Here we go.
Bam.
Oh my gosh, what a great gift.
All
All my
everybody loves
friends
the
are getting
slap
this.
bracelets growing up, right?
Oh, if you don't still love slap bracelets, I've got questions. And then it'll come with this nice seam ripper. And the nice thing about the seam ripper is it has this rubber tip on the end, so you can just rub all of those threads that you've picked out.
Yes.
Because I have sat there picking at threads, and it's not fun.
So we have this, so amongst all this, right, we've got all our tools inside here. We also have this, it's a 3-ring binder. So you can put additional fabric, patterns, whatever your 3-ring binder pieces are. And then you can put, there's additional spots for your tools.
Yep. And then it will also come with a sharpener for those marking pencils, and then you'll also get your own set of 50 pins as well.
Oh my goodness. So going back to that rotary cutter that's in there, and that awesome ruler. Christy says that's a great size ruler, by the way. Paula, who's watching, has the Grace True Cut. She says, I love all my True Cut products. That's all I use. It's a great system.
It really is. And it's so much fun to use because you're just able to create so many different things and to take this on the go, right? It takes it with you. I have not tried to take it through TSA. So don't quote us that it's TSA approved yet. We're still going to test that out. We'll see.
You know, next time one of us flies out and the other one's staying here,
there we go.
We'll take it and we'll see if they let us through. And if they don't, you'll just give it back
We'll
to
just
the
give
other
it
one.
back,
Yeah.
So amongst all the things you're working on, you always need a place for putting your patterns on. And so it also comes with either a cork board or a flip board, so you can put your fabric in the
so
back.
here's that flip board, and then
other side is
this
the cork
is
board.
the cork board.
Oh, wow. So what do you use the cork for again?
So it's got a grip on here, so as you put your fabric on there, it's not going to move. So you can pin your pattern, get them all set, and then put the flap over it, so as you're working on it, it's all set.
Yep, and then the cork board side is if you're just wanting to like pin some pieces together, pin them on there. There you go.
Very cute. Oh my gosh. Oh, that would be perfect for even lace shaping and things. Wonderful. Well, here it is. This is the Grace True Cut 13 accessories in the bag with a beautiful traveling kit that goes with it. So you get the 8x10 cutting mat, patch board, cutter, ruler, ripper, scissors, wristband, pins, grips, 3 pencils. Am I missing anything?
No, yeah.
Great gift. So it's normally on our website, which is our low price. That's not even the MSRP. It's $179.95. But for you guys, it is now for the month of December, $122.47, and that's free shipping. So don't miss out. That's a great Christmas present.
It is. It's a perfect stocking stuffer.
Yeah. And for any of you who just want to get some awesome accessories, so we talked about the free motion starter kit that came with the Cutie. Can we talk a little bit about the hopping feet?
Yeah, so we've got a 3-piece and a 9-piece. The 3-piece has the ruler foot that you need to use with when you're doing ruler work and the ruler base. It comes with a ruler foot, the open toe, and micro stippling. So the 3 basic set that you would need to get going.
Yes, and then the 9-piece is you get an additional standard hopping foot, and then you just have 9 foot attachments. Come with 3 different sizes of couching feet, 3 different size echoing feet, and then you have, I think, 1 diamond and 2 square.
And then a glide foot.
Oh, and then a glide.
Which is great to use with automation, or if you're going over the top of a lot of different stitches, that just helps glide along.
Yeah, but if you're really interested in doing like ruler work only, this is the kit that I recommend. It's our Quilt Perfect ruler kit.
It works with our specific True Cut. Again, that 3x8 ruler.
There's that special ruler you can only get in this one. And then you get these feet. You'll get an additional standard hopping foot, and then you'll get this rolling ruler foot. So it will roll around along the ruler to reduce any of that friction you get.
That is genius.
And then there's this one. It's called the Precision Foot. You can see it kind of has that cross in there. That way, you know, no matter where you're going with your ruler and your ruler work, you know exactly where your stitches are going to go. And then you have this one. You have that, see that little lip down there? It works exactly like our True Cut products work. So it will hook on to the lip of this 3x8 ruler that we have. That way you don't pull your ruler away from your foot, or you don't pull your machine away from your ruler.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite ones. But the Wonder Foot is the other hopping foot we have on special. This is a brand new set. We've got them for all our different machines. Let me open it up here. Now this one is extra special. It's got all these instructions in here, but it's got our special hopping foot. You can see it's kind of large, and so let me pull it out here so you can see how it works. I'll hand the box over to Allie. So you can see how it's larger, and it has this little tiny roller here on the back. So as you're going along, it'll line up along your quilt so that you're able to follow the directions just as you're going. So all that measurement is in there, and there are several different openings. So besides this one, which is our cross, we also have a complete open, a 1/4 inch, a 3/8, and then I think an 1/8 of an inch,
There's
or 3/4,
There's 2 quarters, and this is a 3/8.
Oh, that's right. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Wow. But it also has another hopping foot in there and a collar to accommodate whichever machine you're working it with.
Yeah.
Those
so really,
feet are awesome.
I know, they're
I
so
love
them.
So here they are. The 3-piece hopping set is normally like $170 approximately. You can get it for $118.97 for the month of December 2022. The 9-piece hopping set ranges in price from that to $132.97. Then that was the 360 that you just showed, right?
Yeah, that was the 360 I showed.
Wow. So that one's normally $190. You can get it for $132.97 from AllBrands.com from the month of December. And oh my gosh. Did we talk about the Quilt Perfect ruler kit?
Yeah, that was
We
the one
did.
Allie just showed.
Okay,
so it
cool,
works
cool,
with our True Cut system. You can use the ruler foot or the other cross foot with other rulers, but that last
That
one,
True
that
Track
True
foot.
Track, works with our True Cut rulers.
I love your products, and there's there's some manufacturers out there that want to charge a ridiculous amount of money for the products that you make so awesome and have great accessories for and great customer service, a great family-owned and operated business in the United States. We love doing business with the Grace Company. We love selling your products on our website, allbrands.com.
Oh, well, thank you, Barbara. And we love partnering with you. We love all your customers because we want to, they're our customers too through you. And so we just always want to help people get quilting faster and
Yes.
easier. And so that's why we do what we do.
Yes, and help show them that it's not as scary as they might think it is.
Not at all. And you ladies are so fantastic for showing us the complete line that's available. Thank you so much for all of your hard work today.
Well, thanks, Barbara.
So I'm going to do a giveaway right now. So I'm going to bring that up on the screen for the folks that commented hashtag AllBrands. So let's do a drum roll, please. And our winner is Margie Lund. Congratulations, Margie. Go ahead and email me at events@allbrands.com with your name, phone number, and address to claim your $50 allbrands.com e-gift card. Maybe you can use that on some awesome Grace Company products that you saw today in the live. Thanks, ladies. And thank you for the backstage help today,
Yes.
Bryant and the team who focused the camera and put the Christmassy room together. It's been
Yes.
an awesome pleasure. So thank you so much.
See everybody later. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
All right, bye guys. Mwah.